Well, here goes with my reflection and attempt to summarize quickly what I learned in my practicum about English language arts. Some of the key principles and practices that will guide your future of LA instruction. The biggest one is always be improving, and that's something I'm extremely competitive, especially with myself. I've always been that way, just with sports and school and everything like that. And a big part of that is I'm often very critical of myself and very hard on myself, and I think that leads to a state of always wanting to learn and wanting to get better and wanting to improve. So I finish lessons I found when I was teaching, and right away is my mind's going, you could have done this better, you could have done that better, and it's the same as it was when I finished playing a basketball game, right? Never satisfied. So it's the concept of never being satisfied, keeping to learn, keeping to build, because there's always going to be new and better ways to teach, or ways that I could teach the same thing better. And so that's a big thing. The concept of English language arts has always been kind of daunting. To me, it seems so big and vast and grand, and I don't feel like I have enough knowledge of the ins and outs of the English language. And that's always been a bit intimidating, I guess, with English language arts for me. One thing I've learned over the past few years, and especially even within my practicum, is how language arts can be broken down and focused on the little pieces, right? So when we look at, making kids a better writer, it seems like there's so much involved in that. But when you sit there and you break it down and you go, okay, let's work on this sentence and let's make this sentence as good as we can. So the things within my toolkit, the five S's of sentence writing. So you take a simple sentence and make it a complex sentence and add juicy words and all those things, and bring it down into specific vocabulary work, or reading, or a specific comprehension strategy that we did with Calgary Reads. All those things were very helpful in familiarizing me with the lingo of English language arts, as well as how it can be broken down and compartmentalized. What are your strengths as a language arts teacher? I feel like language arts, again, is one of my weakest areas, and I think it's because it's so subjective. There's not it's not cut and dry as much in English language arts, right? What's a good paper versus a bad paper, or a good story versus a bad story? Depends on the kid, all those things. I feel it's much more subjective than, say, a math or a science, right? 3 times 3 is 9, but sentences can be done so many different ways. And so I think lack of knowledge, my strength. I feel like I'm good at asking questions that probe deeper thinking. And so with read alouds, and when kids are reading, or when they come up and they have questions for editing, I feel that I have developed pretty good skills for not just feeding them back the answer, but to ask leading questions that help them get to that answer. Areas in which you most want to learn and grow. Man, there's so much that I still feel I need to learn and do growing in English language arts. I was a little bit worried about that going into a grade 6 class with a practicum, but when we did our first bit of writing, all my worries vanished, and I now know that I know more about writing than probably 99% of 6th grade students in the world. And so that was reassuring in that sense, but I need to just spend more time reading. I've been so busy reading textbooks and just busy with life that I don't do a lot of reading, and I think I need to get back into that. And I just need to refine my teaching techniques on things, right? I need to get more comfortable running records and teaching sentence structure and all those tricks that you see teachers have, right, when they come in. And we talked about paragraph writing. A paragraph should have 5 sentences, an intro, 3 body, and a conclusion. And I had forgotten all those things. And not that that's a good starting point for paragraphs, but those types of things. Refer to specific outcomes and their importance for effective teaching and learning. When I look at that, I bucket that because I feel that the attitude the attitudes that, look at the KSAs, I guess, the knowledge and the skills in English language arts, I don't think are as important as the attitudes are. And I think that goes for elementary school in general. I think if the most important role, I think, of an elementary school teacher is to make school and well, not school, make learning um, enjoyable and to make learning exciting. And so I guess I'm not as concerned about the specific program outcomes. I think it's more important that kids develop positive attitudes towards, in this case, language arts. If kids can see the value in reading and can really find love and enjoyment in getting into a good series or getting into good stories, I think that's more important than them fill in the blank, right? Whatever learning, having that's all that stuff's going to improve their vocabulary. It's going to run together, right? I think the attitude is a better precursor to building the knowledge and skills than if we try and build the knowledge and skills first. The attitude might not follow. And again, that fits into good teaching practice and best practice and all that stuff. But I really feel that my role as an elementary school or a primary school teacher is going to be to get kids excited about learning. And I think if I can do that successfully, I think the knowledge and the skills are going to follow, and they're going to follow with better results than if it's just focus on knowledge and skills. Yeah, so there's my rant, and I will see you Monday.